this is your girl Kietta Mayweather, and I'm coming to you again today with some great information. I want to talk to you about different things we can do, and let's talk about. Number one, again, let's not blame what you're going through right now on the alcohol, okay? Jamie Foxx already told you that you can't do that. So don't blame what you're going through right now on the coronavirus. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm speaking about, I know that you're sick of being in the house. I know that you want to get out. I know you have to service your side chicks. I know you women out there that side chicks need these women husbands and their boyfriends to come over there and serve you. I get that. But you have to wait. Use this time to better yourself, to make you a better person. You got to work on yourself. Because if you are not happy, there's nobody that can make you happy. So if you're doing all those things anyway, what I just named, you obviously you're not happy, really. I don't know. But anyway, work on yourself. How about you do a documentary, a COVID-19 documentary? You remember Anne Frank, her diary, she kept a diary, and that's how a lot of people got information on what happened with the Holocaust. I'm telling you right now, make your diary so your grandchildren and your children can know what you're going through. Because what we're living right now is history. We're going to go down in the history books because we were a part of it. People that lived through the Great Depression, they were a part of that. People that lived through the Holocaust, they was a part of that. People who lived through civil rights, they were a part of that. You are a part of this COVID-19 situation. So document it. Make you some videos, talk, write stuff down so that 20, 40, 50 years from now, your children, your grandchildren, even your great-grandkids can see exactly how it is that you were feeling and what you were actually going through from first person, from you. So I think that's a great idea. Now, you side chicks, I know you all are sad and you all happy, unhappy right now. The only thing I can tell you to do, you know, that if I had to tell you something, I hope this time has made you realize that being a side chick is not fun. So therefore, work on yourself so you can get your own man. Same thing with you men, because you have a lot of men out here that's side chicks too, and so your side dudes too. So your chick that you want, she's already home with her man. So therefore, I just strongly suggest you work on you. When you come out of this thing, come out of this thing open and ready so that you can have a real, authentic relationship, and you don't have to play them games with the muffins. Okay, you know, and the women playing, you know, the games against the muffins, and then these men out here playing games against wannabe he-mans. Okay, so I'm just simply telling you, come out better and come out wiser. You have enough time on your hands right now to think on these things. So let's just make it work. These whores out here, you know, that's the ones that have pimps and the ones that don't. I'm just simply saying, you know, you can't get a SBA loan. They don't have coochie payroll forgiveness with the SBA right now. So those Johns that having that RONA itch, I don't know what you all going to do, because I'm telling you right now that coochie is not protected by payroll. So I know these pimps going to be mad, because I know you Cadillac payments I do. You know, a lot of you all have Benzes now. So, you know, I know those Mercedes payments I do. I can't tell you anything about that other than I would just say next time, make sure you get one that has some kind of benefits so they can file unemployment, because I know pimps got to get paid and whores got to eat. So you all need to work that out, because unfortunately you cannot get an SBA loan. You cannot get a protection plan for the RONA itch. So those out there who's worrying about how you're going to get paid, my suggestion to you would just simply be, get a job when it's all over and said and done, okay? Some of you all are bored at home and don't have a lot to do, which I'm telling you, I think this is a wonderful thing that you can reconnect with yourself, because that's the most important thing. You have to love yourself. You know, I tell you, RuPaul said the best, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? I'm telling you, that is really true. Now, let me just say this right here to you. I know you home and talking to your friends and you coming up with these great ideas. I hope you are following that advice that I was telling you to do. But don't be telling everybody about your plans and your ideas and your dreams and your goals, because everybody is not happy for you. People are going to look at you sometimes like you're crazy, and that's a good thing. People are going to not believe in what you're doing. That's fine, because all you need to believe in is you. You know, the bottom line is there's no bunk beds and caskets, okay? You came in this world by yourself, and you're going to leave by yourself. So don't concern yourself with what somebody else have to say. I mean, but you are going to have those people that's going to look at you and say, oh, I don't know about that idea. I'm not sure. But those are the same ones that'll take your ideas and steal them. We don't want to talk about Facebook and other platforms, but we already seen it happen, haven't we? Oh, I'm just saying. But I'm saying this to say, you cannot, I mean remotely, you cannot tell people stuff and then expect for them to be happy for you and then get mad when you see them doing the same thing. They never really cared for you in the first place. They really didn't like you, and they despise you because they don't have the mindset and the creativity to come up with the things that you come up with. So instead, they just steal them. That just makes it easier, right? But what's for you is for you. It doesn't matter how much they try to steal it. It will never be as good because it wasn't you. It was your baby. You birthed that. So don't let somebody tell you what you can and cannot do, and stop telling people, okay? Just keep stuff to yourself and move in silence. Now, I got a story for that. And this story is so true, and this is applicable to everything in your life. Now, my grandmother told me a long time ago that she went to the pet store because she just really wanted to have a dog. And just so you know about it for the record, you know, I have a beautiful dog. His name is Cody. He's a Yorkie. I'm so in love. Anyway, I love dogs, y'all. So anyway, she said that she begged and begged and begged and begged her father to take her to the pet store because she wanted to get a dog. And her father told her, if you make the honor roll, I will take you to get you a dog. And my grandmother said she worked day and night. She said she studied day and night. She said she studied while she was eating dinner. She studied while she was eating breakfast. She studied while she was walking to school. She studied while she was in school. She studied in her sleep because she wanted to make sure that she made the honor roll because she wanted her a dog. And you know what? She made the honor roll. So her father, which is my grandfather that I never met, took her to the pet store. And as soon as they walked in the pet store, my grandmother said she just sat at the front door and looked all around. And she said she was just looking for that one dog to catch her eye. So she said she went walking down the aisle and she saw a white fluffy dog. She said the dog was cute, but just something about the dog in the dog's eyes that just did not resonate with her. So she said she walked down the next aisle. She said she saw a beautiful, fluffy black dog. And she said that dog was the cutest dog she'd ever seen. But she said, but when she looked at him, it was such sadness in his eyes. And she said she wanted to be around a puppy that made her, joyful. So she decided not to go with that dog. She went to the last aisle. And when she got to the last aisle, she spotted the dog. She knew that dog was for her. She said they just immediately gave each other contact, and she just knew that was the dog for her. She said as she reached in the cage to tell the dog, I'm taking you home with me. I found you. We're destined to be together. She said she heard a sizzling noise. She said she couldn't understand where the noise was coming from because she didn't see anything. She said she looked behind her, and there was a snake. And she said the snake said to her, you don't want that dog. Dogs require too much. They eat all the time. They bark. They always get jealous when other members come around. They want all the attention. You should take me home because I'll be your best friend. I don't eat a whole lot. I don't require a lot of attention. I'm satisfied with the attention that you give me. I love you. And we're meant to be together. Forget about that dog. My grandmother said, she sat and thought for a minute. Said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because I have so much schoolwork and it will be kind of hard to always walk a dog and to feed a dog and to pet the dog and to give the dog a bath, to always make sure he has water. So you know what, Snake? I'll take you instead. And I thank you so much for bringing all this to my attention because I now realize that a dog would just be too much work. The snake said, good choice. So my grandmother grabbed the snake and off to the house they went. And boy, I'm telling you something, my grandmother always said, she said when she was a little girl, she would look at the snake and say, I made such a great decision because you're such low maintenance. I don't have to do anything but give you some water every now and then. If I don't feel like talking, you don't bother me. I give you a little food, you good with that? And the snake said, I told you, this is the right choice. So as the years went by, my grandmother, before she went to school in the morning, if it was cold, she would put a blanket over the snake. So I want you to keep warm. You know, when it was in the summertime, when it was hot, she would leave popsicles and cooler things for the snake to lick on. So, You know, that so the snake would feel appreciated, and she would know, the snake would know that my grandmother loved him. And the snake would always tell my grandmother, thank you for bringing me home. Don't you think you made the right choice? And my grandmother would always say, yes, I did. You're such low maintenance. You're so nice to me. You talk to me. You keep me company. You don't require too much of me. And I appreciate that. So as the years went by, the snake got bigger. My grandmother got older. And so my grandmother was getting ready to go to college. And guess what? As she picked the snake up one day, she told the snake, I'm going to take you with me to college. And she opened a cage to give the snake a kiss, and the snake bit her. The snake bit my grandmother, and my grandmother began to cry. And as the snake bit her, the snake began to wrap his body around my grandmother to try to suffocate her, to kill her. And my grandmother could scream, but she couldn't scream so loud. Her screams became faint and more faint. And finally, when she thought she was taking her last breath, she said, I decided not to ask the snake. I decided not to scream for help because I'd already been screaming to no avail. But I'm going to ask this snake, why would you do that? So my grandmother said in her last breath, she asked the snake, I was so good to you. I took you out that store when nobody else wanted you. I loved you. When it was cold, I made sure you were warm. When it was hot, I made sure that you was cool. When you was hungry, I fed you. When you wanted water and you were thirsty, I made sure you had that. I took you out for walks. I petted you. I kissed you. How could you do this to me? You're trying to kill me. You're going to kill me. And the snake told her, you knew I was a snake when you brought me home from the pet store. Luckily, my grandfather came home and saved her. But that's what I'm talking about. You all know what you're dealing with from day one. So you can't make nobody be what you want them to be. You knew there was snakes when you first started dealing with them. So my suggestion to you is, you can always deal with the wolf. You know, the ones I don't like is the ones that the wolf's in the sheep clothing. So just tear off these masks. I can deal with the wolf, but let me know what I'm dealing with. And now that you know what you're dealing with, now you know how to deal with those ones. Don't allow nobody to be a dream stealer, okay? And a dream killer. You keep being that dream creator because you have that magic. And you are a unicorn. And that's fine. I know some of y'all come in my comments and say all kind of foolishness, and that's fine too. You know, but my whole thing is every time you're on my page, I'm getting paid. So just remember that. And I'm just not trying to be funny, but I'm simply saying, if you don't like the content on what I post up, just don't come on my page. There's thousands and millions, I'm sure, of other people's pages out there that you'd rather go to. So if it makes you feel good to say negative things to me, then you know what? I hope your day goes well. Because I don't spend my time doing stuff like that. I'm sorry, I really don't. And I would suggest that you all get your YouTube page. You all start making some money. Put your YouTube channel on this page so people can follow you. Because right now, we're in this together. A young lady named Maisha Road to Success. She does exercises. So I followed her. I subscribed to her page. And you know what? She's out here not just talking about it. She's being about it and she's doing it. And I remembered I used to dance when I was growing up. So looking at her doing some pliés and stuff like that reminded me when I was a little girl, when I was 5 or 6. So continue to do that. Maisha Road to Success. Why don't you all follow her? This young man named Frederick Borders wrote in and he wanted to know how to cope with the lockdown. Well, the answer I have for you is, I'm telling you, love yourself and learn more about yourself. Remember who you are as a person. Start remembering the things that you like and you don't like. Write stuff down. Be that person that you are destined to be. Right now, all you have is time to think and to manifest and to pray and to center yourself, so that you can position yourself so that these blessings can come to you. I tell you something, my grandma used to always say, if you keep running behind paychecks, they're gonna start, if you keep chasing paychecks, they're gonna start running from you. Now is the time to position yourself in order to make yourself money, to make yourself more valuable. One of the things I suggest you do, Frederick Borders, first of all, is honest to God, start with you. What do you want? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 3 years, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now? Nothing is too crazy sounding. If you see yourself, honest to God, to being having owning the biggest restaurant, owning one of the nicest restaurants in town, then start working towards that. Start doing the takeout. Right now is the time. Everybody's ordering takeout right now. It will cost you nothing to start a website and to take out some to-go orders. Put it on Facebook, YouTube, put it on Instagram. People look at that kind of stuff. Make your plates, take pictures of it. Start your delivery service. So those are some things, Frederick, you can do to cope with that. And I just really just say, start centering yourself, because if you really don't have, you know, like the spirit of, and I'm being honest with you, the spirit of the Lord within you, it'll do something to you. And I don't know what it'll do to you, because I tell you, I have them in me. But I'm just simply saying, center yourself and start understanding that you are a king. You are here for a purpose. And how about you start identifying your purpose and work on that? Now, I've had a couple people on my page that say, you know, they don't like the fact that I always revert back to everything with the Lord. Well, I don't care what you like, because I know God is God all by himself, and he is the end all be all. And without him, we are nothing. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's your business. But I already know it's not a matter of me believing. It's what I know. So I'm going to say what I want to say with that. And, you know, and I'm not going to apologize for it, because I know from whom all my blessings flow. Okay? But again, I was saying before, I know I want to talk to you all about something that I know you may not like. And that's fine. But let's just respectfully agree to disagree. Now, I know people are always saying, you know, white people don't know what it is to be a black man or a black woman. A white woman don't know what it is to be a black woman. No, they don't know what it is to be a black woman or a black man, at least not in this lifetime. And we don't know, as a black woman, I don't know what it is to be a white woman. And as a black man, you don't know what it is to be a white man. So we both have to accept the fact we don't know what it is to be each other. But what I can tell you is this. People really run around here getting mad because they feel as though that white people have been treating them, well, blacks don't get treated fairly. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I do not play the race card. I don't do that. I don't raise my child like that. I just don't do that. But I'm here to tell you that racism does exist. So, and I'm a business owner, and I'm not gonna lie and say I don't do well for myself, because I mean I'm blessed. But I will tell you, racism does exist, and I am also going to tell you that if you were, and I want you to be honest, but I don't even think you can really answer this question honestly. I think if you do answer right away and try to say your answer is definitive, I think it's disingenuous. If you were a white man or a white woman, you know that you're born and you have white privilege. White privilege exists. That's just the bottom line. It does. As you know, the statistics show you by 2045, the whites will be the minority. Do you really think that white people want to give up their white privilege and have you a minority? They working for you. Their children working for you, working under you, their grandchildren. This country been ran by white people for years and years and years, ages. Well, centuries rather. You really think that they want to give up their white privilege? If it was reversed, if it was black people that had the privilege, do you really think that you would be willing to just give up the privilege like that? If you were a black person and you sit right here and say, oh, absolutely, I wouldn't care, I think you lying. I'm being honest. And I'm not saying that some people don't say that you wouldn't care, that if that's how it is, that's how it is, that's you're going to accept it. I'm not saying that. But to just off the rip immediately says yes without thinking about it for a minute, I think that you would be disingenuous to say absolutely without a doubt, with no second. Absolutely, I wouldn't care about my white privilege anymore. I'm fine with that. And the minorities, under the minority, then so be it. Because you've never experienced what it was to have white privilege. So how would you know if you're ready to give it up? You've never experienced that. So all I'm saying is, before you really start thinking about and getting upset about why these white people are doing what they're doing, I want you to think about, look at what that's about to happen if it continues on 2045. The white privilege would be gone. And do you really think white people are going to give that up without a fight? And I'm telling you, and they're not looking at it like it's racist, because I want you to think about it. Is it? I'm just bringing a question. I'm just saying, because, people wonder why people do certain things. And I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't understand as a black person, just like they don't understand as a white person. They don't understand as a white person how white privilege wouldn't exist, just like you as a black person don't understand. You've never had that privilege. So of course, you're going to be ready to take over the privilege. But what about the ones that held it for the centuries? You think they're ready to give it up without a fight? Look at this coronavirus. The population is killing is mostly blacks. I know you all know that. So I'm just guessing if blacks continue to be extinct, then we'll no longer be the majority. I want y'all to just think about these type of things and why you think certain things are happening the way that they're happening. It is by design. And that's why I'm telling you, you know, in my opinion, you have to armor yourself with the love of God. And I've always been that way. So I'm not just coming, this coronavirus thing don't have nothing to do with why I'm saying this. I've always lived my life this way. If anybody knows me, growing up, I have not changed because I really do know that God is real. I know this for a fact, not what I heard. Yeah, my grandmother said, I mean, that's fine, but I'm telling you what I know. And so that's what I want to ask you all. And I want you to kind of think about it a little bit. And maybe it'll kind of give you a better understanding of why things are happening the way that they're happening. It's time for people to really understand that we are all one. We're one. And what you do to harm somebody else is actually harming you. So I just want you all to realize that don't look at don't treat people as bad as they are. Treat them as good as you are. And I'm telling you, God sees all and he sees what's happening. Don't think for 1 second that anything is swept under the rug. People think all the time they're getting away with certain things, but you cannot escape the wrath of the Lord. I'm just telling you, you can't. So, you know, I'm just telling you, be that good person behind closed doors and out in public the same way and privately in the house. Don't treat them as bad as they are. Treat them as good as you are. And just watch how your life seems to manifest and things has happened for you because you'll be protected. Now, last but not least, I want to share with you all something every Tuesday from now on. Well, for at least the next 4 weeks. Every Tuesday, I'm going to have a 30-minute segment series called Quarantining with Beautiful Kietta. It's going to be 3 o'clock every Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I am just going to document my life, what I do on a regular, how I deal with my office staff, how I deal with my child, how I deal with my dog, how I deal with cooking, how I deal with my family life, how I just deal on a regular basis, how I decide what business ventures I'm going to do, how I decide how I'm going to spend my money, I decide who I'm going to give my money to, you know, just following Kietta, just kind of seeing what I do. And hopefully this reality show, listen now, this reality show, I'm going to film this right from my iPhone. I have an iPhone 10. I'm going to film this whole thing from my iPhone 10. And I want you all to start doing the same thing. It's just chronicling your life, chronicling what's happened during this COVID-19. Because we all have to keep ourselves busy, active, and sharp. Because we have to use our brains and our minds, and we have to continue to be creative. So that's when you know you're creative, when you're making something out of nothing. And that's what I'm going to do. So Quarantining with Beautiful Kietta, starting every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's going to air on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So make sure you all follow, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so you can get the notifications and turn your notifications on too, so that you'll be aware when the episode posts. And for those of you who all are looking to people to follow your channel and subscribe, make sure you put it in the comments. I'll give you a shout out after the show is over. I'll do a little preview and I'll give the shout outs for you all so people can start following your channel too. Because look, I want us to all get paid. I'm trying to share. So I want you all to get paid. So that's what I'm hoping happens. I really am. I don't know if anybody else told you, but I'm just going to be honest with you. When you subscribe to people's pages and you watch, people make money from that. So I want you all to be able to do the same thing. I mean, so just let me know, but make sure you subscribe, watch the show, Quarantining with Beautiful Kietta, next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Quarantining with Beautiful Kietta, and I'm going to show you all how to cook. I'm going to do all kind of stuff. I'm going to show you how I exercise, how I get paid from Flat Tummy, how I get paid from other organizations for repping their products. I'm going to show you all how to really do that. I'm going to show you all how to get on and make you some extra change, because when you have change in your pocket, you feel a whole lot better, don't you? All right, listen, Kietta loves you. Put your comments on the video. As you all know, I usually go on. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. But I want to get your feedback, and especially what I asked you about, you know, this racism thing. Tell me what you think about that. And then tell me what other stuff you want me to speak about next week. And in my next series, not the TV, not the quarantine with Beautiful Kietta, but my other little stuff that I do like this. Tell me what you want to talk about, because I'm here. I want to talk with you all. We don't have, look, what else we really doing, okay? Other than being safe and healthy, okay? Listen, Kietta loves you. Go win.